Hey everyone, how you doing out there? Welcome to GrayManPrepping. It is now time for Survival Saturday, and today's topic is dun dun dun. Turn off your AC. How is everybody doing out there? Let me jump this up over here to the chat. And I can say hi to everybody. Hi. No, I can say hi here. So first one in was Tammy at Rebel Canners. Then Walt Rogers came in, and he says he will be listening, but he has to hunt some predators that are bothering the calves. And there are 8 counties up there in that part of Idaho which are having a big problem with the wolves up there. They're killing a lot of stock. They're impacting the elk herds. Yeah, so they're taking aggressive steps to curb them and bring them back under control up there. Next one on is Howie at Food Forest Permaculture. Then Uncle Al. Then Hello Tofu. Okay. Hang on, I got to read this one. An interesting topic. Someone tried to steal my grandmother's whole house AC unit by unfastening from the concrete in the house. I take it they did not get away with it, and hopefully they forgot to undo the electrical and got themselves a little shock. Okay. And let's see. Then Suzanne Glaze in the house. And scroll on down here. Little Lone Prepper, how you doing? Mary Beth Smith is here. Tibor is here. David Lynn is in the house. Actually, David Lynn Taco Talk is in the house. Woo! AC? What AC? Exactly. I'm going to get more into that here in a minute. Kaylin Strain is here. And that's it. Well, Tibor, if I see your AC running by, I'll catch it for you. All right. Did I put anything else up on that? No, I did. Yeah. Okay, here we go. And the reason why, the main reason on this whole thing has to do with another thought here. And that is, oh, wait a minute. See, I got the power lines here at the background. But the main thing is save money. And that goes to the comment I put up there, and it's on the up above there about drinking the utilities Kool-Aids and having you need to do this, you need to have that. Oh yeah, you can have an energy efficient one, but you make it bigger. So you have that bigger refrigerator, you have the bigger chest freezer. So you have the bigger AC unit so you can really keep your house cool. No, not dad jokes, kid jokes. You never did that joke as a kid, Tibor, where you call someone up randomly before they had caller ID, call them up and say, "Hey, does your refrigerator run? If I see it going by, I'll stop it for you." All right. Okay, so let me go ahead and throw this down in here right now for those that want to come up that are been here for a while. If you're first time to the channel, I'm not bringing you up. But if you've been here for a while, I'll bring you up. Hey, Walter, how's it going? Walter Davis is in the house. And there's the link. So I'm going to replace that pinned comment with the link. There we go. But what I'm thinking, what brought this on is the fact that what's going on with my wife in California. And I've mentioned this over this week a little bit, some of the crap that's going on with Pacific Gas and Electric, and probably Southern Edison and other states' electrical companies. Oh, we're going green. People are putting up all these green sources of electricity, and so if you sign up for the green stuff, we will ship it in and give it to you. And my wife's looking now to see if somehow they signed her up for it against her will, because there is a gas-fired power station just down the street, and it runs all the time. And if they're saying they're shipping the green stuff in, she's going to raise holy hell with them, because the total for the gas and the total for the electric was not the same as the total just for the transmission of the electricity into the area. Not what they're charging per kilowatt, just for the transmission fees. So, yeah. So she's really ticked off. And if she finds out that they're doing that, I have a feeling that she'll be contacting a lawyer and we'll be suing them, because we did not give them any permission to put us on any of that green stuff, because we knew right from the get-go that the green energy was a bunch of BS, that they were going to jack people's stuff up to get the green stuff in. And hey, Shawnee Shafe, how's it going? Hey, Idaho Garden Girl. So that's what contributed to it. And it made me think back, because right now, my wife will not turn on the AC in the house unless it's extremely hot, and she waits till the time frame to turn it on a little bit to try to cool the house off, right in that sweet spot before she can open up the house and get the cooler air blowing into the house. And so she rarely does that. Usually, they're down there suffering in 80 plus degrees inside, and then she opens up everything, and that's the way it goes. And since my oldest son works the graveyard shift at Walmart up the street, when he goes to work, he just opens up his bedroom door, because it's got a screen door on it. It has his own door to the outside. And by the time he gets home in the morning, it's nice and cool in that room. And at a certain point, my wife opens up his bedroom door to the rest of the house, because if it's cooled down enough and everything else, it cools the whole house off. And anyways, that's what she's doing to unplug. Now, it makes me think back to when I was a little kid. We're talking in the we moved up into Martinez in 1960. We moved to Tujunga in 66. And then we moved from Tujunga down to Sun Valley, right across the street from the Burbank Airport, in 69, maybe, about 69. And the house we moved to in Sun Valley had a swamp cooler on the roof. Up until then, we had never had any AC, swamp cooler, anything. And most of the time, we didn't even have fans in the windows. We just opened up the windows and let the normal breeze blow through. Hey, Prepper 101, how's it going? And so, I'm sorry, I'm reading back up on the comment that Prepper 101 made about his mother-in-law again. Anyways, that was a pretty funny one. But so growing up in the 60s there, when it got hot, we just, when the temperature outside was cooler than the temperature in the house, we opened the windows. And the windows stayed open until about 8:30, 9 o'clock, when the temperature outside started to get warmer than the temperature inside. Then we closed everything up. I mean, and we, even in the house in California there that has AC in it, that's what we do. We, it's when it's open up. All right, it's cooler outside than it is inside. Turn off the AC. Open up the windows. Put some fans, in the windows. Turn it on and let it blow the cool air in. And if it never got that hot inside and it's still cooler outside, we don't even bother putting the fans in. Save a little bit more electricity there. And that's the problem with cats. Now, when we lived up there in the 60s, we didn't have any indoor cats. There were a couple of outdoor cats out in the barn that would hunt mice and stuff, but they were not indoor cats. We put water out there for them, and we would sometime during the wintertime, we'd put out a little bowl of a little food in there, and the food would usually last a day or two, and then we put a little bit more food in there. Would never give them a lot of food. Those were mice hunting cats, so they were never in the house though. However, back in those days, we had real screens on our windows, not this aluminum tubing stuff that flexes all over the place and squeezes in when you put a new screen in it. Hey, Barry, how's it going? We had the wooden frames for the screen with the routed out edge lip on it that you put the screen down, and then you put the piece of the furring strip over it and tack that down with the brads to hold the screen in place. Yeah. My daughter has indoor-outdoor cats. They're outdoor most of the time, but they come in when they can't find any food or when they're lazy, and they'll eat a little food, drink some water, and then go back out again. And it's just one of those things over there. It's like cats. You're doing a lousy job. The mice have made it in the house, and she'll throw the mice downstairs into the basement because that's where the mice usually are, and let the cats get think, oh, there's mice down here. All of a sudden, they start bringing mice up and dropping them up on the kitchen floor. But as far as energy saving goes and everything else, there's different ways you can do things. Now, when I was working at DHS, I would have to be at work at 4 o'clock in the morning, which means I got up at 3:15, got dressed. If I was taking a lunch, if I didn't have it made the night before, pack it all up, get in the car, drive 35 minutes to work, and park and be on the computer by 4 o'clock. Hey, Wayne, how's it going? And so to do that, I had to be in bed to try to get a good night's sleep by 7 o'clock in the evening to get 8 hours of sleep. And if it's hotter than blue blazes, I ain't getting to sleep till 11 o'clock at night, only to get up 4 hours later. And so we got a little window AC unit in there, and we had solar panels on the roof, and I had made a box of a bunch of golf cart batteries in it and stuff. And so during the daytime, it would be charging it would charge up to keep the batteries all fully charged. And then about 3 o'clock, I had it on a timer. The little window AC unit would kick on. It was strictly on the solar, and it would cool the bedroom off. It would keep the bedroom doors closed, and it would cool the bedroom off. And froze. And when I would, go to bed, and then when my wife would come to bed, usually about 10 o'clock, sometimes 10:30, she'd come in, and if it was cooler outside than it was in the rest of the house, usually she'd start opening up the rest of the house about 8, 9 o'clock. And if it was cooler, going cooler then, and she was coming to bed, then she'd go ahead and turn off the AC. And it had a little timer, so she just turned the timer to the off thing, so it'd cycle around and turn back on again in the morning or in the afternoon. And then she'd open up the windows, and by then I'm just, and so I don't even know she's doing this. And then, even though it's solar, we're trying to, save wear and tear on the AC unit, and there it is. Put that one up. Change the banner down there, and then also save life cycles on the batteries, because golf cart batteries only have 350 to 400 life cycles in them, and then they're toast. So, but here, I mean, now they're doing these weird energy time frames and stuff. But PG&E has some really cockamamie idea of how to do it. So basically, no matter what, they're still screwing people over for. You were 4 hours into you were running stuff during 2 or 3 hours into the prime stuff. So we get to nail you really big for the prime stuff. And but up here in Idaho, at least they do it right. During daylight savings time, it's from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. is the low discount time frame, because that's at night. And so what I want to do is I'm going to discuss it with her when she comes up here. If we have a moment where we can actually discuss it. Hey, Star, Homestead, India. So we're going to talk about getting one of these Blue Eddy or Apollo power stations that have a wall charger with it, a good wall charger, and hook it up and plug it in, put it on a timer so it can only charge between 11:15 and 7:45 in the morning, which is way more time it needs to charge all the way up. It only needs a couple hours to charge all the way up if I totally almost deplete it. And then during the daytime, during and everything else, nighttime and daytime, both refrigerators and freezers will be on it, and all my computer stuff will be on it. And for the most part, other than house lights, that's everything. That'll be most of the stuff on it, because once we get the stove, when we get a gas stove, it still has to have an electrical clicker on it. So we'll have the stove and with all its timers and stuff on the power as well. But right now, we won't put the electric stove on it. We won't put the electric dryer on it. And we won't put the electric water heater on it. And as time moves along, we're going to slowly replace each one of those appliances. But right now, I don't use the stovetop because it's ridiculous. It's one of those ones that has to heat up before you can start cooking, and then it's hot for a long time afterwards. I use a induction plate. So I put that on there, turn it on, and in 30 seconds, it's boiling water. So, and of course, the electric kettle, which my wife uses all the time for her hot chocolate coffee mix, and I use for the hot chocolate or for the hot apple cider in the wintertime. So those things will have on it. So it will run those few things. But the power it's using is power that comes from nighttime. So, all right, and Star is throwing out links. Oh, I missed it. Jujubee's in the house. Where did Juju? There she is. Okay, so Jujubee's here. So the link is here for anybody that wants to come up here. That's commenting in the chat. So everybody in the chat, I feel good about them coming up here. So if you want to come up here, there's the link. And we can talk about things. But it's like, so how was, unless you're like living back here, unless you're living here in a cave where it's 68 degrees, yeah. In the summertime, AC is in some areas. Some people swear it's a necessity. But I'm thinking, all right, 100 years ago, what'd they do? They didn't have AC. How did people survive living in those areas? Were we tougher then, and not so much pansies? I'm probably ticking a few people off here by saying that. Are you all pansies now and not able to put up with the heat? All right. Here for Intermountain Electric. Most people don't know that there is a choice. They put out a little thing once in a while, in the bills to say, hey, there is this, the tier system. If you use more stuff at night, electricity at night than you do during the day, you may want to go on to the tiered system where it has the cheap stuff at night and blah blah blah. And so most people don't know about it. Most people don't do it. It doesn't show on the bill unless you sign up for it. And it says you're signed up for blah, blah, blah. This is your peak time. This is your not time. And they send you out a PDF if they have your email, or you can go to their website and download it every year. Because the way that the time changes and stuff, it's a totally screwed up there in the springtime on it. I don't know why. I just wish they get rid of daylight savings time. It's a joke. Hey, Mary, how's it going? It was, I'm just going to put that up. It was 90 to 105 degrees, high humidity, and dropped for 6+ weeks. Then turned the AC on all summer. As a test to save money, see what it takes to survive. Experience is important and is of great value. Exactly, Mary. Because there are going to be some people that all of a sudden the grid goes out, and they're going to be like, oh, I can't stand the heat. What do I do? True, Tibor. True, Tibor. Okay, Juju B went to the Laurel Canyons and with the kids. There was a home there cooled by the cave like 100 years ago, still today. How cool is that? Normal house. Normally, your underground stuff for geothermal heating or cooling from a temperature, you're pulling about a temperature between 65 and 68 degrees. And so if you're good with 68 degrees or 65 degrees in the house in the summer and winter time, you're cool. Okay, Seth says they had electric fans. Well, some people had electric fans. Mother would hang up wet bed sheets as they dried the breeze going through, would cool things off a tiny bit. Yes, basically a homemade swamp cooler. One of the funniest things I remember was back as a kid, and this is when Disneyland was a fun place to go, when they had the Carousel of Progress. If you don't know what the Carousel of Progress is at Disneyland, it was way before your time. And we'd go there in the 60s and 70s, and the Carousel of Progress was really cool. And it was basically where everybody sat, that moved around the center, and they had like 4 or 5 animatronic stages set up, and you move from one to the next one. The stages didn't move, the audience did, so it had all their electronic stuff hooked up and going. But in one of the ones, as they move through time, as things progress, the father's dad or grandpa was sitting there in an old cast iron bathtub with a foot hanging out, animatronic foot, and he had a big block of ice there and a fan blowing on it, and another fan he was fanning himself with, and he goes, "Yeah, Dad's calling this air conditioning." Yeah, I mean, it was so cool. And it was I just absolutely loved it. And somewhere in my mom's books and stuff we have packed away, she has the book for It's a Small World, where by all the pages going through all the photos of it, Carousel of Progress, and there was another one. There in Tomorrowland besides the Carousel of Progress and It's a Small World. There was another one of those type things. It was hosted by Monsanto. Ew. Back then it wasn't so bad, but now it is. So I mean it's like Mary Beth, I still have back in the day, it cost you $2 to get in, and then you had ticket books. You buy the ticket books, and you could buy the multi-ticket book, or you could buy an all E ticket, all D, A through E tickets. A tickets were like riding in the horse-drawn trolley around up and down Main Street, or one of the fire engines, or the police paddy wagon, or one of the things like that. The steam train, I'm not sure if that was an A or a B ticket. Peter Pan, the Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, a lot of stuff in Fantasyland were B tickets. The boat ride in there was an A ticket. Matterhorn was an E ticket. Pirates of the Caribbean was an E ticket. It's a Small World was an E-ticket. The Haunted Mansion was an E-ticket. Pirates of the Caribbean, all those big ones were E-tickets. Animatronic Abraham Lincoln, yes. Before there was animatronic Abraham Lincoln, it was the animatronic presidents. They had a bunch of presidents in there. And that was a C ticket, I believe. But yeah. All right. If it's 90 outside and 80 in the house, feels cold, our thermostat never sees the 70s. But yeah, so think of the things you got that you're using, spending power on, and then I got dragged screaming and kicking into doing this. I'm stubborn. Yes, I'm stubborn. Replacing all the incandescent lights with LED lights. And we bought here, most of the lights had been replaced with the compact coil for fluorescents, and my wife had already figured out in California to get rid of those and go with the LED. So first thing we did is we hunted down and found some good LEDs up here and replaced all the lights in all the rooms, except for 2 rooms, the walk-in closets in the master bedroom, and for him and her. Those still have the compact fluorescents in it because, hey, even when I go in there most of the time, I don't turn on the light switch. I just open the door and grab whatever I need to grab off of it, and I'm done. Yeah, Disney now is very woke, and if I could hit the lottery right and do some fancy trading, I would put stuff overseas and buy up all the stock I could, form several companies, so they're not seeing it's all being bought up by one person. And when I had 52%, I transferred all to my name here in the United States, go in and fire everybody. Oh, I got a bunch of saved ticket books in my dresser. I got a bunch of them in there. And you'll send out boxes of LED bulbs. Yeah. Now, the only thing I don't like about LED bulbs is that they are very susceptible to radio interference, giving off radio interference, the cheap ones, and they are very susceptible to power surge fluctuations and EMP pulses. It doesn't have to be a big, take down the whole grid EMP pulse. It can just be a minor one, and your LED lights will fry. Yeah, right now, if you had those ticket books, eBay, there are collectors that'll pay, especially if it's a ticket book that has had no tickets pulled out of it. I mean, I think those things are going like in thousands of dollars. Hey, Brenda, how's it going? All right, she's on her phone listening, so she can't tag everybody. So Duncan 1900 is saying hi to everybody. So yeah, yeah. So I got a joke here for you guys. So unless you live in a cave like this, you're kind of limited on what you can do to cool down. Of course, then there's always doing it this guy's way. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't look at that. I'm gonna go to a different type of underground bunker here that is nice and cool as well. Now it's interesting talking about geothermal stuff over the caves and everything else. Now you all have probably seen, I think everybody here has seen that video. I've brought it up several times of the retired postal worker there in Kansas who has the greenhouse, who grows bananas and oranges in the wintertime in his greenhouse. Hey, Jay. Well, he also cools the greenhouse in the summertime. It cools it down. And it cools the house down as well and heats the house. All off of his 8-foot deep buried pipe. He has run around 175 feet of it or so. Several lines like that. And it just, the air goes into one side, cools off, comes out. Or if it's wintertime, the cold air goes into it, warms back up a little bit, and comes out. Hey, Kathy, how's it going? So yeah, there are ways to unplug from the utilities. Oh no, they're gonna be mad at me for saying unplugging. And doing saving electricity and stuff. One of the things we did for a while there in Martinez, we had a off the one side of the house had the big cement patio there. I've shown it several times in different videos. I built up a partial trellis on the away from the house, and I ran some cables across. And I had that heavy-duty green shade cloth with little clips that would clip around the cable, and we could slide it over. We could slide it back. And we used that for a while until after a couple of years, the plastic clippy things that on there, wore through being slid back and forth, and all the bird poop that was on it, because we have to, we have it shading it, we have to get out there, get everything off the patio, wash all the bird poop off of it, because if you're out there and the wind starts blowing, it starts, powderizing the bird poo and it's coming down on you. But hey, you got to learn to do things you got to do to get by with things. Now, one of the things I have done is for cooling off a house is, here we have unlimited water. We pay $100 a month for our water. And it doesn't matter if you use 5 gallons or 500 gallons or 5,000 gallons. You pay $100 a month. Actually, that's water and trash and garbage and sewer, and that's all the utilities. So I've noticed some other people doing it too. They have their sprinklers on, watering their lawn. And I noticed somebody put one of these tripod sprinklers with the actuator ones, he put it up on top of his covered patio, and it was sprinkling down the roof of his house. So his house was cooler because the roof was all wet and didn't get as hot, so the heat didn't radiate through. So yeah. See, some people don't like the LED lights. They come in different brightnesses and warmths and stuff. My wife and I like the daylight 5000 K lights because it's nice and bright and gives a nice clean light, especially if we're digging out splinters. So I got a nice big honker one in there. I think I got most of it out. Because of the warm ones or the cool lights, you can't see your splinters. Trying to find where's that splinter. I need a bright white light to make it stand out. Okay. Internet issues are going to be going on later tonight, early morning through tomorrow night. We got a double CME impact coming. It's off of a M class, not an X class. People have been saying, suspicious observances are a couple of X class. No, there were not any X class. There were 3 M class. The first one was an M 8.92 or 8 or 8.9 or 9.8, whatever. It did not make it to the X class. It was not close, but it didn't. And it was impulsive, which means it just goes boop. And so were the other ones. The second one was an impulsive one. The lowest one of all had a longer duration. It went up, and so on the chart it goes up and then down. But it was so low, it was barely into the M class. So that's what's going on with some of the internet problems going on, because right now we still have an increased geomagnetic flow from the sun. Who had the high one up there? Tibor says his was $25 for his bill in August. Somebody must have had a higher one back up here. I don't see it posting, but get back down to the bottom here. When the space station is destroyed, you'll worry. Well, how about when a bunch of Elon Musk Starlink satellites keep on getting fried? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing quite like an incandescent bulb, because the incandescent there are different types of the incandescents, including the tungsten halogen, which are really warm and really bright and clean, but they suck energy like you wouldn't believe. Of course, if you have enough solar panels and you can handle that, more power to you. If I would like to have enough solar panels where I could turn everything back into the nice, good incandescent and halogens and everything else here. Yeah, it depends where you look. If you're looking on eBay, be careful, because some people jack the price up, and when someone sees, he's jacking his price up, well, I'm going to jack mine up too. Pretty soon the price starts to go for incandescents on eBay and the other sales places. Hey, FPS, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, it's like my wife has already said the furnace for the house here will be set at 65, if not cooler. And I will be wearing more coats and stuff. But she's also said fill all the propane tanks up. And she doesn't want me using the furnace to heat everything up, but just take the chill off in the morning and stuff and keep it from getting too cold at night. Then I can come back here like I was doing. I have the one. Actually, let me show you it here. There's Mr. Heater right over there. And I will put a couple of, put one of the 30-gallon propane tanks in here. 30-gallon, 30-pound, whatever it is. The big boy, the bigger ones. And that'll last about a month and a half, depending on how warm I got to do it here. However, I discovered something here in the 5 hours my furnace was working that for it in the kit, the thermostat is in the kitchen, and for it to raise the kitchen up 1 degree, this room and the master bedroom at the other end of the house will go up 4 degrees. So all I need to do is just have, if I have that set at 66 in the kitchen, these rooms here will cool off a little bit more, but then it'll heat it back up almost to 68, 69 degrees. So that's one of the things on that's interesting as far as the airflow. Now, I did close off the one vent in the kitchen that aims right at it. So, because otherwise it would come on for 5 minutes and turn right off because it got hot real quick while everything else is still waiting to get warmed up. Checking some stuff out here. Yeah, freezing here. Oh, FPS, farmer's son prepping. Okay, changed, adjusted the name of your stream there. Have you been putting out anything? Because I'm still subscribed. The bell is still rung. I have not been getting your notifications. You must be in what Uncle Al calls the YouTube doghouse, because I've not been getting your notifications on your videos. Huh. I'll have to go back and watch some of them. But yeah, there's hang on, what's going on? Doesn't it? Jay, no, it doesn't open it back. Okay, hang on, I got it. Reading what's going on here. Yeah, it depends how deep the pipes are and stuff, and where the pipes are. All right, so right in my house, there are the outside walls have no pipes in them except for 2 locations where a hose bib goes through outside, but it's got the 18-inch anti-freezing thing. So basically, the valve is actually back over here for turning the water on and off, but the hose bib part's out here outside the side. So this part here stays warm underneath inside. There's one in the front, one in the back, and that's, those don't freeze up. The kitchen sink is not in the wall. It goes straight down through the floor to the plumbing under the floor. So it's not in the outside wall. Yeah, none of the plumbing in the house goes in the outside wall, other than those 2 ones which traverse through it. And that's the better way to do it, But as far as opening cabinets up and stuff, I've gone, some days when it's been really hot, and I turn on the AC, the window AC unit in the master bedroom there, so I can get some sleep at night. I go in there and I go to open up my either the walk-in closet or the big IKEA wardrobe I have against the wall. I open it up, it's like, whoa, the heat comes out of it. I've also noticed that in California too. It's either colder or hotter in there than it is the rest of the house, depending on the season. Yeah. And what's going to be interesting if we do have I'm reading about this comment here about stocking up in incandescents. If there is some sort of a surge goes on, and it's intense enough where it doesn't quite take the grid down, but it fries all the LED bulbs and stuff, you're not going to be able to get LED bulbs at the store for quite a while, because they're going to be sold. I mean, everyone's going to buy up all the bulbs out of it. They're going to be sold out, and it's going to take them a long time to get them in. And the new ones coming in, who's going to say that those didn't get fried in their package with all the electronic circuitry in there? At plus 2 degrees, Mary Beth's pipes froze for the first time. Wow. Okay, hang on, guys. Okay, so the water coming into his house is 35 inches below the surface. Here, my water coming in is, it's down about 5 feet and comes in and goes under the house and comes up in the middle of the crawl space. However, the water meter out by the street is a weird story. Water comes into it at 6 foot down. Then the water line comes up to where the valve is and the meter is, and those are 18 inches below the surface. And then it goes right back down again. However, when it snows, the sewer manhole covers are the first thing the snow melts off of. The water meters are the second place snow melts off of, because coming up from 6 feet down, that I have it's a steel canister that goes down to where the water comes in. I think it actually goes down a little bit deeper than that. They just fill it with some drain rock down in there. So it has the ground heat coming up, radiating up through it. And from what I understand, since they put those in here, nobody's water has frozen, in the 30, 40 years since they put that type of meter in. So back when I was living in Fredonia, Arizona, and for my junior and senior year in high school, I graduated in 75. I'll let you figure out. The first winter? I'm trying to remember, I think it was the first winter, the winter of during my junior year, during Christmas break, we had to make a run up to Salt Lake, not Salt Lake, but south of Salt Lake. There's Draper and Sandy, and my sister was living up there, and her brother-in-law was living not too far from them, and their contractor, the whole subdivision had water pipe breakage. Contractor came in deep low, brought it up, and then into the house 18 inches below the surface. Okay. Water line was down, 5 feet till and it came up. Rather than going and bringing it up inside in the basement low, they brought it up and brought it in 18 inches below the ground, and there's about every house there where that went through the foundation at only 18 inches deep, it froze at that point because the foundation froze more than the dirt did, and as it went through, then it froze the pipes and broke everybody's pipes right there going at the transition in, and most people's basements flooded. And as it flooded, it started it froze some more. And David Lynn is still here and is still lurking. But yeah, so we went up there we didn't go to her brother-in-law's house. We went up to her house. Her water line froze out in the field. So we went up there, hit the Caterpillar dealer, because that was the Caterpillar dealer the city of Fredonia bought their equipment from, and my dad was was going to deal with the salespeople. We went up there, and he rented a backhoe, ridiculously cheap. Went out there, and we redug their water line and put new water line in down deep, and ran it in up to their basement. We core holed a passage in the foundation down in the basement, down near the floor, the bottom of the floor. So you're down about 8 feet down below the surface, and then put foam insulation in there around it to protect it from that, and then backfilled it with a bunch of sand, and then we put the other dirt and stuff in on top of it. And when they moved to Texas, they sold it to another family member, and that everyone else's pipes have frozen up there now and then. That house has never frozen after we did the water on that. So hundreds of old style. Oh, I'll have to go up and check Deseret Industry as well, see what they have tomorrow. Yeah, T-Bar, that's why we put, what we did is we put a sleeve on one of those insulation sleeves, but the hole is bigger, so we put that insulation sleeve on it, and we used the spray foam insulation around the outside and from the inside, and trimmed it all up, and it was really nice. Yeah, I was lucky here. I did videos on it on my other channel. I may have put some on this channel too, where I was going out there with my infrared handheld temperature gun and reading the thermometers that were out there and stuff. At one point, it was 28 degrees below zero Fahrenheit, and nothing here froze. But I did cheat. Out in my my water tank thing, I put, on a tank. It's a water barrel going down into where I have all the water lines sort of tied off for the ones going around all the yard hydrants. I put a 50-watt ceramic heating element, like for a reptile aquarium or whatever, or for chickens. I put a 50-watt and a 75-watt down in there on a thermostat. So when the temperature got so low down in that barrel near the bottom, those would come on. Yeah, I've seen that, Dave. Thank you. Yeah. David, I'm not sure if you are adverse to being called Dave or not. I have so many friends that are Davids, but they want me calling them Dave. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, Kaylin says that. Yeah. Okay. Just trying to see what the comment was up there is. Okay. Oh, that one there. All right. I already saw that one. So, yeah. So anyways, here's an interesting thing about incandescent lights that fluorescents and LEDs will not do. Incandescents will run on DC current. We used to play around with, when I was in college, we'd get the batteries for the handheld wireless microphones. They were 12.4 volt batteries, and there were two of them to go in, to lock together and go into the microphone. And so when the theater production was using the wireless microphones, they were burning through a set of batteries every night for every microphone. And they weren't totally dead, but they were enough where they couldn't use them the next night. So they were tossing them. And I was going over there and I was getting them. And this was my first year in college. And my younger brother and cousins and stuff were still in high school, and they were building. They had a big tree fort out there and stuff. So I went out there with all these batteries and I wired up lights using regular household lights in their tree fort using the 12-volt batteries. And so they really love that. Yeah, and all right, I'm having a brain fart here. I'm thinking it was Edison was on DC and Tesla was AC. And and that was one of Edison's sayings. The light bulbs last longer on DC than they do AC. Now they do make special LEDs for DC for your cars and trucks and stuff, but your household ones, you put DC through them and they generally go fritzo on you. Yeah. I bet you can order off of Alibaba or the other Chinese version of Amazon and get incandescent bulbs. I bet you can get them over there in China, from China. Okay, guys, I got this something for you. This is going to be. I bring it up here real quick on my other one here, so I can look at it here. Down here to the Patch News Network. Okay, this came out at 3:30 Mountain Time, so about 5.5 hours ago. This email came out. I think this is kind of hilarious because it has to do with California. A virulent stomach bug breaks out at California Healthcare Conference. And let me go into this and open that up and put that. And the facts on this are really to me really ironic. Okay, Los Angeles, California. With California facing the largest healthcare strike in the nation's history, a meeting of union delegates from around the state led to a mass outbreak of Shigella, G-E-L-L-A bacteria. California health officials confirmed this month. The Alameda County Health Department first reported the outbreak, noting 6 confirmed cases from around the state linked to a union delegate conference for Kaiser Permanente workers being held at the venue downtown Los Angeles at the end of August. This week, the Los Angeles Times reported that 32 of the 300 attendees at the West End Bonaventure in downtown Los Angeles have reported symptoms. Symptoms include bloody diarrhea, abdominal cramps, nausea, fever, and even kidney failures. 6 of the attendees were hospitalized with kidney failure. Here's the glitch on it. Infected person sheds the bacteria in their stools while they are sick and often for more than a week afterwards. The Alameda County Health Department warned, not washing your hands after using a toilet can spread the bacteria. Gee, I wonder what they were doing going at the conference room using the conference bathrooms and not washing their hands. Or what I have found out through several different documents, those hand blowers, you put your hand in to dry your hands by blowing it, spread more bacteria and germs around than using paper towels or the old-fashioned cloth towel on the loop thing that you pull it and it takes it off one spool and wraps it up on the other spool. Yeah. But paper towels are the safest non-bacterial spreading. But, oh, no, you got to use up electricity and do the blowers because We say that's safer. So anyways, yeah. And then it goes on about the union strike and stuff, possibility of 75,000 healthcare workers striking in California. Just after California had 12 of their hospitals rated the best in the country. I'm sorry. I'm glad I'm no longer there. Exactly. And when I drive from here to California and back, when I stop at the truck stops to fuel up my pickup, I take a thing of sanitizer in with me because sure as shooting, I've seen guys come out of the toilet stalls and just walk right on out, and it's like, they're grabbing hold of the door handle, they're not washing their hands or nothing. And so when I go in there, first thing I do is I squirt some on one of the pieces of toilet paper, wipe the seat down, wipe the lock mechanism and everything else. Hey, I've never gotten sick so far, knock on wood, driving to and from California. Hey, Courtney, how's it going? Oh, yeah. So it's, there's, this whole thing. Yeah. Sorry, I had to share that thing from California about the healthcare workers getting sick at a conference where they were planning to strike. Gee, if they weren't planning to strike, none of them would have gotten sick. And of course, healthcare workers the law that was just passed got their the base pay for healthcare workers got increased like $4 an hour anyways by the state. And so these guys are wanting to get more. Talk about greedy, entitled people. I'm sorry. All righty. So back to all right. All right. That's the thing too. This house, until we got the gas furnace put in, was electric furnace. It got turned on once when I had the problem with the wood burning stove with the stuff blowing crap back down in with the crap buildup up on the vent up there. So that was just one day till I got out there and was able to get it off the next day and beat all the crap out of it and get a good draw going back on it again. And then installed the new one, which has a super draw on it. But hey, hopefully I will not have to burn firewood this year. Yeah, Walter, but that affected everybody after 2020. There are very few people whose cost of living increased to match it. Yeah. But I'm saying they just got their base rate increased $4 an hour by state law. That's a pretty decent pay raise. Yeah. Propane is cheaper than the electricity here in Idaho, and it's way cheaper in California. I mean, it's if my wife could figure out a way to run the furnace without using electricity, the house would be a little bit warmer there. But I'm trying to tell her, hey, I can hook the circulation fan of the furnace up to a solar power station, and we can put some solar panels on the south facing roof there, and she doesn't want to do it. Hey, Ace Man, how's it going? Yeah, yeah. You got to watch who you're voting for. Yeah, I know Brenda keeps the wood stoves going there all winter long. Oh, I mean, last year I went through because I had about a cord left over, so I went through almost 7 cords of firewood here last year. But what's interesting is that when Brandon got new siding put on, he didn't strip the old stuff off, or basically they put on 3/4 inch of styrofoam, paper-backed styrofoam board all the way around the house. Then they put on the metal sheeting on over that. So it's the metal sheeting, the 3/4 inch paperback styrofoam. Then it's the 5/8 not particle, but it's a compression board they use for siding. Then it's the 6 inches of fiberglass insulation. Then it's the 3/8 inches of drywall. Yeah. Hey, it would only take about 30 people voting for me to outpace the other 2 people running. But if you guys want to help me get elected, go back over to Camp Patton Family Compound, the playlist, City of Basalt, I think it is. Hang on, let me look at it here real quick. City of Basalt playlist. And the last 2 or 3 city council meetings, make comments on there. You guys need to get rid of your mayor. Gil's running. So there's also all these comments on there saying, vote for Gil pop up because people are still looking at. And then the next city council meeting, we got one more city council meeting before the election, and that is on October 12th, and I should have that one loaded up by Saturday the 14th. So over on Camp Patton Family Compound, that's where I loaded it up at. And so when it's loaded up there, I also put the link to it on the I Love Firth Facebook page, which is big one here. I also put it on the Basalt Facebook page. It's Firth and Basalt are right across the railroad tracks from each other, and so yeah, that might get a few people going, whoa, what are the people all across the nation voting, saying vote for this guy for? Yeah, I hope I win too. But there's 3 people running, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And then I got to double check the information. I heard that the current mayor has decided not to run. Of course, if I had known that they do something stupid here in Idaho. All right, all right, across the country, elections are on even number years. Presidential elections, state elections, county, local governments on even number. Not in Idaho. Federal elections and state elections are on even. County, some counties aren't even. Other counties are on odd. All cities are on odd. It's like they don't want anybody to vote. So, anyways, let me pull something up here real quick here. And today while I was working outside, I'm setting up getting all the framing up for the new metal roof over the patio. I finally got the last, I forget what it's called now, where you have the pieces all connected together. There's a particular name for it, and when they're building a barn and they set the thing in, the cross members and the posts. I got that last one put in, Everything's tied together. Tomorrow I'll be putting the rest of the rafters in between them. And then when my wife gets here, and with my youngest son, we're going to put all the metal on. But that'll both keep the house warmer and cooler. Warmer in the wintertime, cooler in the summertime on the north side of the house. Because the snow won't be blowing right up against, sticking on the side of the house anymore. And when we get the hot water heater in, the new gas hot water heater, it'll be venting out in that area, so it'll trap some of the heat there. The electric dryer, I vent it to the inside. You know, I have a big vent bag on it, so I can vent the electric to the inside. Helps humidify the house. But once I go gas on that, that'll be going outside there as well, and will help keep, trap a little bit of heat there on that side of the house. For the summertime, shade there, because the sun, being up in this far north, the sun shines on the north side of the house, and it'll be in the shade, so that side of the house will not be heating up. So that'll save me a little bit on electricity there too. Okay, just reading the chat there, catching up on it. All right, so coming up here, Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound. And I think everybody's in here is subscribed to Camp Patton Family Compound. If you're not, let me throw the proper spelling. All right, this is the email of it. So it is CAMPPATTON space family space compound at gmail.com. Or if you just do the Camp Patton Family Compound, brings it up on YouTube. But coming up on Monday, for the Monday night fireside chat over there, the topic is, what about your spouse? And I know Kaylin's going to say she doesn't have a spouse yet, so we can all keep Kaylin in our prayers that she'll find a spouse. And so that's what's on Monday night, and I'm not going to go into more detail on that because I don't want to let the secrets out on what I'm going to be talking about on that one. Tuesday, back here on GrayManPrepping for Tactical Tuesday. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're doing because it's my birthday. And if my wife had if my wife had come up when she was supposed to come up, I would have had her as my birthday present come on the live stream with me. But she's not coming up until the next Saturday. Till the 30th. Okay, so then on Thursday night is the midnight ride here on GrayManPrepping. That's midnight Eastern time, actually, all right, 11:55 Eastern time on Thursday. And we run for a couple hours. And we get a little bit more down the rabbit hole sometimes there on the midnight ride. Next Friday on the Friday night on the homestead on Camp Patton Family Compound channel is, does your garden do what it should do? I know it's kind of late for talking about gardening, but gardening is kind of a year-round thing in some areas, even here in the snow. Does it do what it do? And be interested to find out, does your garden do what it's supposed to do? All right, so that's on next Friday. Then next Saturday here on Survival Saturday, we're going to be talking about a survival garden. Why preppers should have a garden, a survival garden. All right? Tibor, take my wife, please. And then besides Henny Youngman was, what's his name? I don't get no respect. My wife, she treats me lousy. I get no respect at all. I can't remember his name. Yeah, he was in a great movie. One of his favorite movies of it. That actor was was about back at high school where he was the diver. I love that movie. Every time I can find it on Tubi or Amazon, I watch it. All righty. So that's what's coming up here for the week. Thank you, everyone, for coming in, talking about the different. Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield. Yes, Rodney Dangerfield. There we go. Tibor and Walter are tied now. Kaylin jumps in with Rodney Dangerfield. Yeah, the name of the movie is really cool. It's really hilarious because I can relate to some stuff because he's a big developer stuff. Started out as a bottom end contractor, built up, and he has head to head with the economics professor, and just totally blows the economic back to school. Yes, back to school. Yeah. So if you have a chance to watch Back to School, it's hilarious. All right, everyone, have a good night. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound for the Monday Night Fireside Chat. All right, take care, and I'll see you around.